Hey guys, how's everybody doing today? How did you do in the market today? I want to know in the comments below. Let me know how you did and what stocks you're playing. But let's get right into it today. The Raja had another successful day in the market. So I would tell you to guess how much I did today, but I already put it in my subject line. But the real question is, what did I do to get $45,000 in profit today in the market and keep the streak going? I think we're like 10 or 11 days of straight profits in the market, and that's pretty hard to do, especially with the market going up and down and stocks moving up and down. Even on down days, we've been up. So excited to share with you guys how we're doing and hear how you guys are doing and take a couple of questions. But hey, let's get right into it. How did I make $45,000 today? Inquiring minds want to know. Well, let me show you. So what we did is we did these Apple calls. So you guys remember we had the 500 contracts of the 118s, and we had 1,000 contracts of the 121s that we had wrote. So we have a nice profit right here. We made $33,000 on that trade that we made yesterday when we were in. So what we were doing was we were averaging up, or rolling up, because Apple was up, and you want to chase it. I don't want to get too close to it because I feel like it can come down just as fast as it can go up. But it wasn't even like it was a big update. Apple only moved 60 cents. So, and this is where it gets very interesting. Is like I was telling you guys, even today when Apple was down, because it was actually down for a little bit of the day, even when it was down today, my account the whole day has been in the green. So that's what's nice about using leverage and using these options, and selling the puts to open. So up and down, we can make money. And like I was telling you guys, even if Apple moves just a few cents every day, you're picking up that money by the premium, because every day you lose 5, 10 cents, depending on the price of the option. So, but yeah, let's look what I did today. So as you can see here, I have no more of the 118s. I closed that position out, and you'll see I have the 120s now. So we sold, so we bought back. Here's my trades today. We bought back, let me give you guys a full screen so you can see it. Well, I guess it doesn't really open it more. We bought back 500 contracts at 14 cents. As you can see right now, it's 7.5, so it'd be 8 cents. So they came down in price 6 cents from where we bought it. So if I would have waited, I would have made $3,000 more. But I sold 600 contracts at 31 cents of the 120s. So this is very interesting. So I actually sold, we bought back 500, we sold 100. But even if you just took the 500 contracts by doing this new position right here, so I lost making $3,000 on this position, but by opening this new position, I made $9,200. So let's say we only did it with 500 contracts. Well, then I would have only made $8,000. So no matter what, this was a good move, because these are pretty much worthless. We could ride these out until the end of the week, or unless Apple crashed. But there's not a lot of upside potential. And if we're going to try and make 150, 200,000 for the week, we have to keep rolling out. So right now in play. We have 1,600 contracts, and we have a total market value of $34,800. So far this week, we've already made $78,000, almost $80,000. And we only have $34,000 left to make for the week. So we're going to have to keep making some moves. So I almost rolled up some of these I almost rolled up these 120s and said, you know what, maybe we should just roll those into the, but that's only at 10 cents. That's only going to give us an extra 6,000. I'm going to watch Apple tomorrow. I think that with market conditions and everything going on, I'm still baffled why this market keeps going up. I don't know. Nothing. It's not like anything new is opening. Everything's still closing. So you want to really be watching that closely. And yes, the first 90-year-old lady in the United Kingdom got the vaccination shot. Congratulations to her. But it takes weeks to start working, and you have to get a second dose. And it's not like she's going to go get on a cruise ship, but yet cruise ship stocks were way up today again. I mean, it's somebody not, I mean, is common sense out the window in this market? So it's a tough market to play. And, you know, you definitely have to look at it. Apple today released a new product, a new headphone, the Apple Max, $585. I think it's way out of price range. I think all they've done is now take their Beats line that they paid $3 billion for, or something like that. And, you know, it's going to be competition to it. It's going to be interesting how it all plays out. But hey, I love Apple. They have new products. I'm sure people are going to buy it. I looked at it and I was like, I would never pay $585 for a set of headphones for my, you know, I've got the Air, you know, the iPod Pros, but you know, even like the noise canceling ones I've had in the past are, you know, $299, $399. So I mean, definitely price their product very, very, you know, very overpriced in the marketplace. But that's what they do, and it works, and they like to have those big margins. But back to my whole thing, another great day in the marketplace, and this is what we did. So we rolled up. So now this is where it gets tricky. So this is what I was telling you guys. So when you're looking at this and you're looking at these models, so you know these are 25 cents. Well, if we go up, let's say to the 22, which I'm looking at because you know Apple is oh great, once again they've changed all this. If we go up, let's see, let's look at puts, strikes, I don't know what it's doing here. I don't know why it won't show us the spread. Every day they seem to change this on us. So let's see here. Go back here. Switch to symbol assist view. Maybe that's what we need. Apple. There we go. Expiration. We want to do weekly. I want to do strike. 122. There we go. So that's 40 cents. So as you can see from the 22 cents, we could go up 40 cents. So that may be tomorrow. If Apple goes up or is around this same area, that's going to be something that we're going to look at doing. Would be maybe moving up a little bit. So taking a look at where it is and what it's doing. This is, like I said, this is, you know, a roll-up play. And, you know, if we rolled up 500 contracts, let's say the 120 at, you know, tomorrow at like 10 or 11, 12 cents, and we rolled 500 contracts. So let's say this is 35 cents, you know, we could pick up another $10,000 or so if we pick up like 20, 22 cents a contract. But we're taking a lot of risk. Apple can move 2-3 points in a day with no problem. So this is where you got to really, really watch it, because if something goes wrong, it can be detrimental. Let's look at if we go out to the 12.18 and we look at like the let's say the 120 for the following week, that's 81 cents. So this may be a week where we actually want to roll out early and roll up and out early. Looking at, well, we'd actually be rolling down because if we had the 121s or 122s and we go down to the 120s, but there's a better premium. So if we were, you know, let's say we're going to do 1,000 of these, we can pick up $80,000 going into next week if Apple goes up some more. But no matter what, if Apple stays where it's at, every day this 80 cents is going to come down 5, 10 cents just because it's an intrinsic value because Apple's so far above it. I think Apple's going to stay strong. It was interesting today. It knocked on that 125 again and couldn't get past it. So this is the third time in a month Apple has knocked on $125 and can't go past it. Will Apple get past it? I have no idea. But it seems like there's definitely some resistance. But this is also the longest that Apple, if we pull up a chart here on CNBC, we pull up the chart here and we look at it. Let's go to Apple. So this is also interesting. And we look at the chart for 1 month. You'll see here. Actually, we'll have to go, I guess, 3 months to show this. But yeah, so Apple on the first time, that's when it hit that all-time high. Then it dropped, you know, it was right here and came way down. But then Apple, this is where it got the momentum again. And then right here again, this is where it hit that momentum, like 120. It actually intradays, one of these days it got up there, and then it came back down. And then this is here where it got up to the 120s again. Let's see here. One of these days, yeah, the high was 124 that day, 123. So you can see it's been bouncing like it's trying to really break out, but it's definitely moving in the right, you know, thing. And if you know, if you're looking at these charts trying to read this, I mean, this is like a roller coaster. I mean, it's like, you know, it's like a straight rocket ship up, then it crashes, comes right back here, then it's, you know, all the way down again, and in these ranges. But I mean, like I said, it has a lot of resistance at that 110, you know, and that's why after earnings and everything, it's been sitting at this, you know, here, and finally a couple of upgrades last Monday, if you guys remember, and that's when it's, you know, been up pretty much. So definitely what you want to look at is, like I said, the 125 seems to be where it knocks on. So tomorrow, if we have an update in the market, I think Apple could blow into that 125 and really go higher. If we have a down day in the market, or you know, the FANG stocks get hit, which actually most of the FANG stocks today all got lost, were down except for Apple. So interesting day. You know, and like I said, vaccinations are here. Yes, they're rolling out, but what are they going to equal? So, but yeah, let's take a couple of questions today. What would you expect that if you had 30,000 in an account, it would give you 100,000 in trading power? Is the leverage with margins about 30%, or what can you expect your leverage to be? So all different stocks have different buying power. That's a question from, so you guys can see it, from Palm Springs Stocks. So different accounts have different leverage buying power, excuse me, all the accounts have the same leverage. Different stocks have different marginable values. Apple is a very steady stock, and its margin requirement is a lot less, where Tesla, the margin requirement is much higher. And then you take like some stocks, like if you want to do Kodak, it's 100% requirement because it's so volatile. So there's just, depending on the stock, you need to ask your brokerage firm what their requirements are. But most of your like Dow 30 stocks, you know, your top, or, you know, are going to be, you know, pretty solid, or all in the same category of requirements and stuff. All right, next question. Wouldn't you need like 12 million to sell 1,000 put contracts? Well, technically, you would. Well, first of all, technically, if you sold 1,000 contracts, you would need 6 million, because if it's on margin, you would have a 50% margin requirement. So you'd only need $6 million. But then with the leverage that you have in level 3 trading, you could do that with about, you know, $3.5–4 million. So with my account right now, like 5.2, 5.3 million, I have the ability to sell between 1,800 and 2,000 contracts. You'll notice I usually keep it around 1,500 to 1,600. So I have a couple of hundred contracts just for a little breathing room. Also, I could write five, if we wanted to sell the $80 strike price for a penny, I could write 5,000 contracts because it's so far out of the money. So it's also based on the value of the strike, how far out of the money it is. There's a few, you know, scenarios you'd have to get with your brokerage firm to, because they're all different and stuff. So, all right, a couple of questions here. What do we got here? Do you think Apple will reach 125 mark or more with new stimulus package? So, you know, they keep saying if we have a new stimulus, that the FANG stocks will go down, that people are going to come out of this to that. Here's the thing: Apple's going to keep selling. I mean, you know, Facebook, they have ads. People are buying ads. There's no more boycott on Facebook. People are, you know, online people are advertising like crazy right now on Facebook. I never was a Facebook advertiser, but my sports bar, we're advertising on Facebook. We're spending $50–100 a day trying to drive people to order online from us, or calling for takeout orders, and, you know, using DoorDash or, you know, Uber Eats and stuff for delivery. So I was never a customer, and now, you know, if you have these businesses that are surviving, and, you know, you have nationwide, I don't know, you know, 100,000 restaurants, 50,000 restaurants that are all spending $50–100 a day. These are all brand new customers that Facebook never has. That's a huge increase in revenue. Plus, you have your regular holiday shoppers and, you know, people pushing stuff. And you have to remember, online retail stores, they are going to spend more than ever online this year because they know people aren't coming to stores. So I think, like a lot of these, I think Facebook next earnings, and a lot of these online, you know, places where ads, you know, with the Snapchats, the Twitter, I think that they have huge potential with fourth quarter advertising, plus the fourth quarter final push of election advertising. I think it's going to be through the roof. Now, I'm going to give you guys some inside information. All right. So, if anyone asks, don't tell them that Raji gave you some inside information, but I'm giving you guys inside information. Are you guys ready for this? Can everybody keep a secret? Because I'm on YouTube and I'm on Facebook and I'm monetized, I see the CPMs. Well, these CPMs during election, that 2-3 weeks to elections, they skyrocketed, took off like no other. This holiday season, the same content, where normally maybe I would get an $8 CPM, it's 15, it's double. So that is my inside information. I think there's probably some articles and some stuff out there, but not true insider information. Nobody's going to go to jail for that. But yeah, based on what I'm seeing and how much my revenue has gone up on ads on my content, on the big jackpot side, that tells me that there is a lot of demand for advertising. Now, granted, it could just be that I'm just that great of a content producer and everybody just wants my content. But I am guessing they're targeting, our demographic. Kids channels are going to be up. So that just tells me there's a lot of money in online advertising right now, and a lot more than usual. This is well, first of all, I've never seen a spike like this in November and October, November because of the election, and I'm now seeing this massive spike, like I said, now, which it always goes up around the holiday season, but not like this. I mean, you're talking about double the revenue. So it's pretty interesting, or double the CPM. So it's pretty interesting, the big spike. Now, one thing is you have to remember, they don't always sell all your content. So one thing for creators is, especially like children's channels that have 50 million views a day, they may only sell 30 million views of that traffic. But my guess is they're selling a lot. They may be selling all of it right now. During some of the time, our CPM is good, but we only have like an 80% fill rate. So 20% of my content doesn't have any ads on it because they just don't have advertisers. They didn't sell it. Who knows? But those are all little things to take a look at and pay attention to. But like I said, right now, advertising rates are through the roof, and you also have to remember, while you guys may think we make all this money as content creators, Google and Facebook, they take 40% of our revenue. So, if they take in $10 billion in advertising for the month, $4 billion of that they're keeping. So they take 40%, and there's no negotiations. There's no, even if you're the top guy out there, they don't go, you know what, you're making $1 million a month on YouTube, we're taking 40% on you, we're going to do it for 30 or 20. They don't care who you are. They take 40%. So pretty simple. And like I said, so outside of Congress and some of these investigations into what do you call it, antitrust and all this stuff and monopolies, I think these companies are gonna have some blowout quarters. And you gotta remember, these companies have billions in the bank. They build in billions of dollars for lawsuits and settlements and attorneys' fees. So when you hear like Apple just got sued today for $5 million, that's pocket change. $5 million to Apple is like $50 to me, and $5 to somebody else. It's pocket change. It's you have $192 billion alone in the bank. Maybe they want me to do some option trading for them. I don't know. Then they would have 200. They could have 300 billion in the bank by next year if we did that. But no, these companies have big money. They're in great shape. But yeah, let's take a couple of more questions here. Are you saying buy Google? I think Google's good. I think it's way up. Let's look at the chart. Like I said, charts don't lie. Data doesn't lie. Let's look at the chart. Google is down a little bit today. I think that's because of the lawsuit with Barry Diller's company, IAC, and stuff, and all that. And there's this whole browser extension thing. But yeah, it's the same thing. Let's look at the chart here, 3-month chart. Google's way up there. And you got to remember, Google had that blowout quarter last quarter. Remember? And of course, they said Google's blowout quarter was because the boycott on Facebook. I don't know. Who knows if that was what it was or it wasn't. But you know, they had a blowout quarter, great numbers. Like I said, this quarter, if I was a betting man, which I think I am, I would bet on online advertising companies to have a blowout quarter. I mean, just the election money that was spent is incredible. You have to remember that only happens it happens every 4 years, the major election money, but you know, every 2 years you have yearly you have some elections, but 2 years, you know, some bigger ones. But yeah, in 4 years from now, remember to play some of these companies really, really heavily. But yeah, that's what I think. Thoughts on Snowflake? I don't really have very many thoughts on it. I know a little bit about it. Let's look it up for you guys. Snowflake, Snow is down today. It gets tough, you know, when these companies valuations get so or not valuation, you know, stocks get so high up there. It's tough, you know. I mean, you have a stock for the last 3 months set around $200 and just skyrocketed. It's tough, you know. Plus, it's a new stock. I don't know, you know. I just don't know enough, you know, about what they have going on, what they're, you know, if they are profitable, not profitable. You know, it's a data platform provider. I guess it's similar to Plantair or whatever. I don't know a whole lot. I could spend 5 minutes and know a whole lot about it, but as of right now, I couldn't give you guys a educated opinion on that. So, Roger, we're getting closer to Christmas and lockdown combo. Are you watching food delivery like DoorDash IPO? I'm seeing those. The problem with these IPOs, and even with an account my size, you would think, you know, it's not like a casino or a VIP business where they go, hey, you're a good customer, you're going to get extra. So I have to just go in like you guys do. Well, some of these are like online auctions and a little bit different, but I have to go in like you guys do. I can put a request in on my Schwab account and ask for a stock, and sometimes they give me 100 shares, and I'm like, that's great. 100 shares, it goes up, you know, $5. I'm not knocking it. It's $500 I didn't have earlier in the day. The other thing is a lot of brokerage firms, if you're just looking for IPOs to blast the stock on the open, they'll stop giving you stock. That they don't want that. That's not what while that's what we want is a hot IPO. And they said, yeah, here's 10,000 shares, and thing goes up, you know, 5-10 points the first day. That's what I want and you want, but brokerage firms don't really like that. So if that's what you do, a lot of times those brokerage firms will stop giving you allocation. And like I said, you just start playing so many stocks. It's tough. You know, it's like I said, it's like sports betting. Can you bet on 10 games a day and win all 10? Can you pick 10 stocks and win all 10? I'm about to announce something later in the week that you guys are to love, because I know you guys want all these other stocks. What I'm about to do, I'm going to see how good I really am, and I'm going to see, can you play 10 or 20 stocks and make money on every single stock in a day? Because I'm interested to find out. I don't even know if I could do it. I'm sure we'll have a day where 10, 20 stocks all make money, and I'm sure we'll have a day where 10, 20 stocks all lose money, and I'm sure we'll have a day where it's 50-50 or 70-30. But at the end of the week, the only thing that matters is the end of the week with option trading. But that way you guys can see a lot of other stuff in play and a lot of other stuff to, you know, get ideas on. And, you know, I'm always looking for a new stock. Will I play 2 or 3? Yes. But you have something that works, stick to it. If I told you this is how you do something every single day and you're going to print money every single day, why would you change it outside of greed? And I'll show you in my accounts, and I've shown you guys earlier in some of my videos in my accounts. I sometimes, you know, I'm a gambler, so I'll say, yeah, you know, I'm up a couple of $1 million this month. Let's try this, do this, and all of a sudden you get, you know, smacked, and you're down $2 million, $3 million before you blink. It can happen, and it does happen. It happens fast, and then you have to work hard. So, and trust me, it's tough. You know, I'm something like today. I'm like, I just want to smash those, you know, 124 contracts, you know, for $1 and watch Apple go to 126. And you know what? We make 100,000 today. But if Apple goes to 122, that 100,000 I was hoping to make, I just lost 100 grand, and now I'm, you know, going crazy. So you got to definitely, you know, pay attention to all that. Let's see some questions here. What caused Norwegian Cruise Line to jump 6.2%? Well, a couple of things. One is when a stock is very low in value, like Norwegians, Kodaks, a lot of this stuff that's a little minor piece of news can move it. Wow. So while it sounds like a huge jump, 6%, it really isn't. 6% on Apple is a lot, because if Apple today went from 123.75 yesterday to 129.75, it's a big move. $6 or or actually like 7 points to equal. If Apple, but it's a big move. It's a lot of money. But little stocks, if you just if you have a buy, sell, and bouncement, it's easy. It's how people manipulate penny stocks. Why does a penny stock move so fast? Well, if you have 100,000 people who want to buy this stock at 10 cents, and you have only 100,000 shares that people want to buy at 10 cents, and you only have 50,000 shares that somebody wants to sell at 10 cents, it's going to go to 11 cents. And just as long as people keep wanting it, well, if a stock goes from 10 cents to 16 cents, it's only 6 cents. You're really not making that much money, or you'd have to own so many shares of it to really equate to something. But it is a 6% move, so it's definitely easier to move a smaller stock. So what is the average probability on winning your premium sells? Like 90%. I'm averaging almost 100% on Apple. So when I'm playing it, when I take high risk, and that, like I said, right now we're at medium risk. When I take high risk, like today, if I was to go sell the 125s, I did this a couple of weeks ago. Apple was around 120, 119, 18s. I said, you know what? Let's sell 500 contracts to the 119. It was like $1.50. Well, at the end of the week, Apple was 115.16. So I lost 50% on that trade. I rolled it over, and then Apple come back, the following week. So I made up for it. But those are the risks you take. So it's definitely, like I said, it's leveraging, and it's just or if you want to really acquire the stock. I have no desire to own a bunch of stock in my account, so that's a totally different. So Marjorie says the vaccine, they're ready to cruise soon. Cabin fever on dry land, so it's going to go boom. Well, yeah, I mean, you're still, like I said, you're still 4 or 5 months out on cruises. The first cruise isn't going to be at 100% capacity. It's going to be 25% for the first month or two. Then they're going to go to 50%. And it's not going to be the same. Plus, think about like the different ports. Some ports are going to be safe. Some countries aren't going to want these people. It's like, it's not going to be the same, who wants a cruise ship with, and like I said, the other thing is, if one person on that cruise ship has it and spreads it, after everyone saw those videos of, cruise ships sitting and people, in 2 weeks and, detention and lockdowns, and it's crazy. It just absolutely crazy. So, what are your thoughts using Stash for investing? Honestly, I've never heard of it, so I couldn't give you my thought on it. But like I said, in the comments, not in the live chat, but in the comments on our daily videos, leave your questions, because I go through them, I look at questions, and I do research on it and stuff. So Jeff Schwartz, there will be more sea days than stops for a long time on cruises. Yeah, I mean, that'll definitely help the casinos if that's what happens. But the other thing is, people want to see stuff. I mean, here's the thing: if you want to, and you got to also remember these cruises are, but a lot of people like them because of the buffets, the dining. Well, are you going to want to be on a ship in the middle of humidity in the ocean and having to wear a mask all day long, walking around, sitting in shows, and buffets are closed, or they got to serve you individually? It's not going to be the same for a long time, and that's what people have to remember. It's not the same experience, and if you don't have the same experience after you go do it, I'll be perfectly honest. If I had to spend 7 days on a boat and we didn't make any stops, or was only going to make one stop, I don't know. I mean, I'd rather just go to a land-based casino. It's the same thing. I'd have the same amount of restaurants to eat in, larger casino to play in if you're a gambler. And, I can go to Florida, and have a pool and a beach, and if I have to just wear a mask all day long. So why do I want to just be on a boat that rocks and goes in a circle going nowhere? Like I said, it's going to be interesting. Like I said previously, I love cruising because I like to see stuff. And that's why if like the itineraries that we would do were to go see new locations, new places, and see things that I've never seen before. It'd be like, do you want to take a cruise? If you want to just, go in a circle, lock yourself in a hotel room and order room service. It'll be interesting. So, what else? We got questions. Somebody says, yep, to do option trading, you need to get approved by your brokerage firm. When you set up your account, you want to always answer the questions honestly. If you've never traded options before and you honestly answer that question, you're honestly going to not get approved for anything except level 1. If you open an account balance with enough money, you'll get approved for margin trading. That's pretty easy to do, or if you have any experience. But they want to make sure that you're aware of what you're doing, because you can lose all your money very fast, or get yourself in debt quickly, especially with level 3 trading and stuff. It can definitely get you in trouble. All right, Jeff Schwartz, another question. In your opinion, in the first year at least, do you think cruises will force customers to have been vaccinated before they are allowed to go on board? I don't know. That's an interesting question. I don't know. I know they're talking about vaccination cards and this and that, but here's the thing. American public's going to dictate. I guess there's a couple of ways to look at this. If everybody says screw the vaccination, don't get vaccinated, we're going to be in the same boat that we're in today. So I guess what it is honestly, like for me, if they said, Scott, you could be the first guy to get vaccinated in America, or the second guy, or the 10th guy, I'd be the first guy in line, because of it. I think there's enough research and enough study that's gone into this that they know this works. And if I don't have to have the fear of having COVID for the rest of my life, or at least for a while, that this thing works and whatever, I'm pretty happy to do that and help stop the spread of this and get America back, the world back on track and everybody healthy. So, if you're saying I refuse to get the vaccination, I don't know. Are you enjoying eating outside at, restaurants? Are you enjoying, if your restaurants are fully closed down, just doing takeout? Are you enjoying, not, playing sports, if you have kids, your kids not going to school, then don't get vaccinated. I guess you really enjoy that lifestyle. To me, it's a very simple question, and I'm not here to debate it. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. But based on what they've shown, the side effects and the risk, I'm not living my life like this the rest of my life. I'm going to get vaccinated. I'm going to be a good citizen, and I want to get back to normal as fast as possible. So somebody says, can you do these things using Robinhood? Yeah, Robinhood does have option trading. I've never used Robinhood, so I can't tell you anything about Robinhood. I've heard tons of great things about Robinhood. I heard it's the trading platform of the millennials, and young people love it, and blah 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 blah. I have no opinion of it. I've never used it, but I haven't heard anything really bad about it. So I know that you can get free. I think you get your first share of stock free. They have some bonuses, but yeah, I have no clue anything about it. So somebody says Robinhood has limited hours. Make sure you are with a broker that gets some pre-market and after-hours trading. Beware the limitations of the broker you use. So, yeah, so with Schwab, I can trade. So Schwab's open. If I want to trade stock, depending on where you live, it's 6 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. So I have 6 to 7:30 pre-market, and I have aftermarket from 2:30 until 6 p.m. to trade. There is obviously trades going on after markets, but that's totally different platforms. I don't have access to that, and I'm not really buying and selling stock, so it doesn't really affect me. So unless I had to hedge something, or I was trying to make some crazy move after hours or before hours, I really just need the options only trade. There's no platform where you can trade options after our time is 7:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So that's the only time that you're able to trade those and stuff. But take some more questions. Also, guys, not to just plug myself, but we actually had our first Patreon. I wasn't even planning on launching this until we started in January, but we actually had our first Patreon today. Yesterday, sign up. We're at 1 new Patreon, and so I had to hurry up and make my first post. So the trades I did make today, as I make trades live, they're going to be on the Patreon page for Patreon members to see. So that person today, if they were watching and stuff, my trade was I bought these contracts back, the 118s, to close at 14 cents, and then we sold the 120s at 30 cents. So as you can see, we picked up a 16 cents on the spread, and the profit already from that was $9,000. Obviously, you know, depending on the size of your account and how much you're trading. But even if you did this with 10 contracts today, if you bought 10 contracts back for 140 and then you sold 10 contracts at 30 cents, you know, you made on that trade, you made at 30 cents, and now they're 15 cents. So you would have made 150 bucks on that trade alone today. And the reason I say the 10 contracts is when you're trading, you only need if you have about $25,000 in your account and you want to trade Apple, you can write about 10 or 12 contracts of Apple with $25,000. So if you have $25,000 in your account and you write 10 contracts a week, let's say at 50 cents, you're gonna have a $500 a week return times 50 weeks a year. That's 20, you know, it's 100% return a year. And that's being pretty cautious. You're gonna have weeks where you're gonna make more than that. You're gonna have weeks where you're gonna make less than that. Like I said, I'm not a broker. I'm not hawking any systems. The only thing that I'm offering is for people who want to know when I'm making trades that I make in real time. I post them on our new Patreon page that we've launched for this. It's not a community like my other Patreon page. All this is going to give you is the trades I'm making. So, and you know, if you ask questions and stuff, and maybe in the future we'll have more stuff. But as of right now, the only thing we're offering is in real time. When I make a trade, I make the trade, and I'm going to post a picture of the trade on the thing, and you guys can do what you want with it. So if you want to mirror what I'm doing, like I said, if it's 1 contract, 10 contracts, 100 contracts, you can follow what I'm doing. I'm not endorsing Apple. I like Apple as my personal stock, but this is not an endorsement. These are my opinions. So just always got to add these disclaimers with this. Got to keep the SEC happy, and we don't want them bothering me. But hey guys, thank you so much for joining us today. Hopefully you guys have learned some more stuff, and hopefully tomorrow is another day in the market that we are up and we can celebrate something. So we're going into tomorrow's in the market. As you can see, in the market tomorrow, we're going to have 600 contracts of 120, 1,000 contracts of the 121s. If Apple is above 124 tomorrow, these contracts will all be in the green. If Apple was to drop drastically, these could go into the red. If it did drop drastically, I may buy some more of them or sell some more of them to open. If Apple runs up tomorrow or does break that 125 mark, I'll probably move these 120s here to like a 122, maybe a 120. I may gamble a little bit. I may go to the 123, but maybe I only sell 200 or 300 contracts instead of, you know, shooting the load, as they say. Because you have to remember, 200-300 contracts could be the equivalent of, so 600 contracts at 15 cents, let's say, 300 contracts at 45 cents for the 123 it's more money and it's less risk, but it could turn into more risk if Apple was to slide down. Just got to kind of fill out the market. I feel like this market, we're not really going to crash right now. I feel there's a lot of confidence in the market because everybody's expecting something to happen. It just hasn't happened with stimulus or, you know, I don't know. We already know shutdowns are coming and layoffs and all this, but I think people are just hoping for a stimulus and something to happen. And the vaccination, like I said, it's great. The vaccination's rolling out. It sucks that they had to wait another week. And now, even if they approve it tomorrow, then Friday and Sunday, there's more approvals. So I don't know. Now it's going to be another 5-6 days, you know, to roll it out. And then once it does roll out, it takes 2 weeks for it to start working. It has a small effect of work until you get the second dose, so that's basically 28 days. So like I said, lots of stuff to look at, lots of different things. Like I said, it's fun stuff. Hopefully everything keeps going up, but I'm the Raja. That's what I got for you guys. For those of you guys on my gambling channel, we're gonna be live in the casino tonight at 6:30 Mountain Standard Time from Z Casino. So we'll be talking slot machines instead of stocks. Probably be a little bit more exciting, I guess, visually. But that's what I got for you guys. I hope you guys make a lot of money in the market tomorrow. If you haven't subscribed yet to my channel on YouTube, please subscribe and click that gray bell so you know when we go live so you can join us. If you haven't followed me on Facebook yet and you're watching on Facebook right now, make sure you click that follow button and let your friends know and let everybody know about Raja Makes Money. The more the merrier. Hope to see everybody later on tonight. Take care, guys, and I'll see you guys either tonight or tomorrow.